The pitch at Hairway Lane, when all good men were straight and true, and the landlord was insane. The hut was small and very crushed when a dozen men got changed. Most were cool when bodies brushed, but some just went deranged. I remember when Mike made me look slim, and a pork pie munching Chris W. Prince said, "Darling, what's a gym?" The three of us plus seven crammed like sardines on a plate. We all shouted, "Thank the Lord that Bevan's always late." I remember the Reverend Nathan Haynes. When he started playing cricket, he was still in toddler veins. But still he flaunts his birthday suit, though we've left the hut behind. Though some I know will miss it. So that's why Pitt resigned. I remember when Paul Johnson still had hair. Well, actually I don't, but I guess there was some there. It's not just Paul, I still recall a younger Richard Jones, when his athletic limbs still held some still unfractured bones. I remember the muddy bottom end, where scores of wagons disappeared like galleons at Land's End. And yes, our humble hut has sunk a truck after weeks of rains and storming. But don't get me started on bloody global warming. I remember times without a weekly flood, when you could roll the pinch and sink ye not in 7 feet of mud. I'll tell you why this climate change is such a bloody failure. It's melted half of Iceland, but it couldn't touch Steve Taylor. Sorry. I remember when life seemed so much slower. Northwest Passage frozen up, with sea levels much lower. It makes some folks just fizz with rage, and other people insular. And I remember when Mike Ireland was still just a peninsula. I remember balmy sunny days spent playing Hairway cricket in an alcoholic haze, with barbecues and steel bands, and Sue Lusby's luscious cakes, and dodging Jeremy's alpha when his foot slipped off the brake. And I remember Jimmy Quinn and Button, Elson French, and the Cricketers' Arms pub team sprawled out on a bench, and Jonathan Morrill Riley bonking Richard Albright's wife, and the blown away pavilion. Oh, what a lovely life. I remember the pitch at Hairway Lane. Will we ever, you all ask, see the like again? The games have moved, the maps removed, and the six-a-side, it's said, is only now reenacted in Steve Hemming's double bed. But now we've moved to Wootton, we thank our saviours there, who've welcomed past-it cripples and those with challenged hair. They've laid out their red carpet to help heal o'er the rift. It's nearly bloody perfect, if you can bum a lift. And with that, I'd like to just raise a glass to all friends here, all friends absent, and Barford Cricket Club, to say thank you very much. Thank you, Mike, for a fantastic speech and a great captaincy for the last 6 years. Hope to have you fully involved with the club, and welcome to our new captain, Mr. Chris Blimey O'Reilly, who will now come up and entertain us for the next half hour. Thank you, Chris.